Did you choose the paint or did the paint choose you?
That's a good question. I think I'm still trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we arrive to what we're supposed to do sometimes from healthy or unhealthy ways. But whatever you find as you're going along is sort of,
Right.
you end up, that ends up being more a part of you, I'd say, than the intent
Yeah.
in the beginning.
Yeah. And don't you think it's difficult to discern sometimes between what is healthy and what is unhealthy? Or
Yeah.
what is good and what is bad? And,
Very much so.
I think that we have such a sense of, or we think we have such a sense of right and wrong and black and white and healthy and unhealthy. And when in reality, it takes it all. It takes all of it
Yep.
to make a human being, and certainly a human life.
Yeah, you must have some pictures in your head. Do you ever have things that come out at night when you have time to reflect on it? But
the one thing I don't think will ever stop haunting me, and there's a lot, but there was a boy, a 14-year-old boy, who was living with his mother and her boyfriend in the woods. And
in the woods?
yeah, they were living out in the woods.
Here in Chattanooga?
Here in Chattanooga. And they would come to the kitchen and eat every day, but he would never talk to me or never make eye contact. He was always very... and finally, after a couple of months, he came to my office door one day and he said, "Can I ask you a question?" And I said, "Yes." And he pulled up his shirt and he said, "Is this infected?" And I looked and he had this wound. I said, "Yeah." I said, "What is this?" And he said, "I think it's some kind of bite." And I looked and it was two crescents. And I suspected it was a human bite.
A human bite?
A human bite. And I said, "Is this the only place like this that you have?" And he said, "No, I have others." They were all over him.
Oh,
They were human bites. And they were graphic. They were deep. We started investigating it. And his mother, they were prostituting him for cocaine. And the way that the crack dealer kept an accounting was that every time he had sex with the boy, he bit him. And it was the way he counted the times.
You come together at a point, and it might be the lowest point in their life. Sounds like many times it is. And then they go, and is that hard for you?
You carry that little piece of carbon that they put on you. I think we just go right on living together, with everyone that touches us in a profound way.
I agree.
It would be easy to go into that monastery and never walk out.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. You've been to the Harvard bookstore?
I have.
And I was walking up just past a little 7-Eleven that sits up in there. Mm-hmm. I never knew a 7-Eleven could be that ritzy.
There's a couple in Boston that are pretty...
Did you ever know that Harvard smells like money? You know how money has that smell? That's how Harvard smells, I think. But I'm walking up the street, and these people are walking around something. I thought there was something lying on the sidewalk. Because you know how a crowd just sort of parts. When I get up there, it's this guy. And he's bent over the trash can. And in his hand, he has one of those Chinese takeout boxes. And he's shoveling with his other hand. He's eating what's in it. And he's scary, and he had been beaten up. He was all scabbed up. It was awful. It was awful. And then he just stopped eating and turned and looked through me. Looked right through my eyes. And that's it. I wasn't aware of anything else. Everything stopped. Everything froze. I suddenly realized why I had been born, when I was born, where I was born, to whom I was born, I realized everything in my life, every step, every decision in my life became clear that it all led me to that moment. That moment. And then I realized what I would do for the rest of my life.
Be with her.
I would be with him. I would be with him. I had absolutely no doubt that Christ was eating garbage out of a trash can.